So hello guys, been a while, and I'm back now fully to flutterflow. So we'll be doing some videos over time, so it's not something that should be taking long to bring videos to you. But let's go ahead and do something. So the intention of this is to show you the build process of how I do it. But I'm not really good with UI, so I'm going to be using this front end, this UI from Outcrowd, so I'm on Dribble. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So we need to just have the device he has. So he has iPhone. I don't know which iPhone is it. Going to be maybe it's 13 mini. Let's see if we can use 13 mini. Right, maybe 13. You could also use 14, whichever that makes you happy. So let's use 14. No, let's just use the one he has, which is this. So let me make this a little bit. I wish they could do like as 50, 55 or something, because it's kind of overflowing for me. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at how everything is aligned. So we have this, which is the top bar. So if you're aiming on using the top bar everywhere, you notice it has, you can either do it as a, sorry, you can either do it as a top bar, or you could do it just like here. So that means we'd have to kind of replicate it later on here, but let's go ahead and use what he has here. So I'm going to go ahead to our homepage, and on the homepage there's some few things that you might need to set up. If you need the save area, so the save area is what you have this here. If you need it, you can leave it, but if you don't need it, you can just remove it. So I'm not going to be using any save areas. So I'm going to go to the home page here, and we have the column here. I don't know what paddings I'm going to use. Like I said, I'm not really good with UI, but let's try and work this out. So we have the this top bar here. So this is a container, and this is also a container with a small transparent image at the center. But I'm not going to be using the image. I'm going to be using icons. So I'm going to go here and create a new. I can do it inside the container, so that the container comes in with its own padding, and I can make this width extend up to the end, and then inside the container I can create a column. So the reason I'm doing this column is so that I can make it justified at the center of the container. So I'm now going to go here and create a row. Now the row is what is going to allow us to have this one here and the other one at the end. So I'm going to go inside the row and create a small container. So the container is going to be big, but now we have to define the height. So I can say I want this container to be 50, and the width is going to be 50. Sorry, the width cannot be, it can be 50 also. Right, now this row, we can make the row, so we're going to make the row stretch to the end. But before that, we need to have the color of the container, which is, I think, I don't know how flutterflow calls it. So we're going to go to the fill color of the container, maybe use alternate. Right, we have the alternate there. So I feel like the background is okay. It's okay. Alright, sorry. There you go. So we have the alternate, which the alternate seems to be more of the primary. Would that make sense? I don't know. Let's use accent. The one he had, this is accent. Yeah, let's use accent. So inside the container, we're going to do one more thing. We're going to have a column, and that's all. So the column is also going to be at the center, and inside the column, let's have an icon. So let's look for an icon here. Right, now let's go and look for something that resembles that. I don't know what resembles that in the icons. I haven't taken a tour around here. So let's go look for something like should we use this just for, let's just use this for now. Right, now the container has to have a border radius. I think the border radius is something like 8 or something, I don't know. So the border radius, you go down to you click on the container and go down to the bottom of the container, and you need to look for border radius. It has to be 8, I guess. I'm not sure. I don't think I like 8. Let's give it 10. Give it 10 or 15. Yeah, 15 looks better. Right, now we need to now do this for this other side. and there's a padding here. I think the padding is 20. So let me see. So let's go on the row. Click on the row. Give it a 20. Yeah, I guess that's it. Give it a 20 also. There we go. So what you're going to do is we are going to duplicate this. Sorry, we don't need to duplicate the row. Instead, we need to duplicate the container inside the row. So you see, both of them are close to each other, but we don't need it to be like that. So we need this to be on this end and the other one at the other end of the page. So click on the row and you're going to click on max alignment, like that. So this appears on the end and at the end of the other one. So inside the column, inside the row, let's also give it a 20 padding at the top, because remember we have no safe area. So in case we had a safe area, it would look like this, but we removed the safe area. So there we go. Now remember, this whole background seems like we kind of need it to be not there, because remember we don't have this container has a whitish. So we're going to go to the container and you need to remove the fill color and clear it. You can clear it or you can make it a primary. So you have two options. So there we go. So we have this, and now we have the icon which has a user. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to change this to user. Let's just call it a user or something. Right. Then the color of this container has to be fill color. Let's give him this. Nope. Let's give him that color. Right. So far so good. There we go. So now the next thing we need to do is we need to now create a padding at the center, have the name Sophie, and there we go. So we're going to come down here to where we have the column. Remember we have the container at the top, but we now need to go ahead and create a row. So we need the new row. Now the row, we're going to give it a padding of, so this seems like also we're going to give it a padding of 20. So do this and we're going to give it a padding of 20 all around, but we don't need the padding to be at the bottom. So we're just going to come here and we're going to put our text. So our text here. So it says hello. So we're going to say text. And I don't know what size of this size of the font is. We're going to say hello flutterflow, something like that. And then we're going to give it some sizes. So it's going to be either title large, something like that, and then we're going to give it a height of 26 or 28. I don't know. No, I think it's no. So, yep. Bold. Yeah, bold. And then this seems like a padding bigger than 20. Actually, seems like a padding bigger than 20. So let's give it 28. I don't really like doing UI, so but here we are. Let's do something crazy like 38. So then you're going to say hello Sophie, flutterflow, and then at the end we have an icon, so you can say emoji. Say an emoji. So you can just copy this directory from here and put it inside the project. I think apparently emojis. So let's go and copy the emoji, go back to flutterflow, and inside our text we can paste it here. There we go. So we have hello wave. I think it's wave. So waving hand emoji. Copy, go back. There we go. Right. This seems to be not that heavy, so the text is going to be title. Is it title or headline? Headline medium. Is it? Yeah. And give it also a height of 28. Good. I think we can work with that. Right. Now let's go down to where we have the search. Now the search is going to be also another row. So come down here and go to the go to the row. The search also seems to have a padding, so and then let's give it also 20. Then it seems to be not too far from it, so 20 is just fine. Now inside here we're going to do two things. We're going to have a container. Now this container we want it to stretch to the end, so let's go here and give it a width of infinity. Alright, sorry. So if that's the case, we need to stretch it from here, and we are going to give it a height of, I think, I don't know, let's try it. Let's give it a height of 40, no, not it, 60. Is it? Yeah, might do, 60. And we're going to give it a border radius of 20, I guess. Not 20 really, but let's give it something bigger, like 30. Yeah, that works. Now inside the container there are a few things we need to do. So I remember there's also another container here which I guess has to do something to do with filters. So we're going to go inside here, create another container, and this container we have to make it rounded. Give it a radius of 60 so that it fits in with this, and you're going to give it a fill color of black. Is it black? Primary text, black. Let's give it secondary. Let's give it black instead. Let's give it black. Yeah. Now inside that container we have to do something else. We have to put a column. Remember, put the column at the center. Inside the column, put an icon. There you go. Now we're going to go inside the icon and we're going to do filter. Is it? Yeah. I think it's filter. Or adjust. Is it? Let's just use filter. Let's use this. Then give it a color of white. So give it a color of white because we use informational. Then we might need to do some padding on it. So we might say on the left we need like a padding of 10. Yeah, 10. Then inside our container we now need to put our text field inside there. So we're going to go inside our container and we're going to look for column. Inside the column we now add our text field. So there are a few things you need to do to the text field. So inside the text field we're going to scroll all the way down to where we have the styling, input decoration, and we want to make it none. Now the none basically means this is not going to kind of show lines when you click on it, and we need an icon at the start. Don't think Flutterflow has that here unless you add it yourself, but I'm not going to be adding it. And the label, we're going to remove the label. We don't need the label. We don't need the label here, but I think there's an initial hint property. I'm going to say Alright, so the style of the hint has to be something bigger, I guess. So text color, font weight, light, I think, and then you're going to give it 20, give it 18. Let's give it 18. And then also what you're going to do here is we need to make this float at the center, just like that. And I don't know if we should put it like this or stretch it. Just have it the way it is. There you go. Then the text field, we can give it like a small padding to the left and say, let's make it 18. There you go. So the text search should look something like that. Alright. Now, moving on, but I think this is a little bit smaller, the height of this container. So let's go to this container here and let's give it the height. 50, 55. Yeah, let's give it 55. And then we have now the next, which is featured categories. We're going to go here down, so minimize this and now create a new column and call it, let's give it also the same padding, which is 20 all around. And you're going to have a text inside the row, which is going to be bold. Let's make it bold. And the size is going to be 18. We're going to say featured. Featured what? Categories. Right. And then we're going to have another one at the center, which is going to have another row, which is going to have the containers we just saw. Sorry, not container, but a row. So another thing you can do is actually, if you notice you make a mistake, let's add a container, you can wrap this container inside a row. So wrap this container inside a row, like that. So we're going to have circular containers, and we're going to have a column. Make it alignment at the center. Then you're going to add an icon. Then let's call maybe gym, something like that. Give it that icon. Maybe you can increase the size to 28. Give this container a height of, I think, diameter of, I think, 40. Sorry, 60. Yeah, I think that does justice to it. 60. Right, now this row, remember, we need to have some padding on it. So you can say we need this to be 20, 20. So we're going to give it at the bottom. So what you're going to do here on this row, we can duplicate this. Duplicate. Remember, it does not have any padding here. So what you do before you do a duplicate, you need to give it some paddings. So let's go to the container, give it a padding right of 10, I think. Is it 10? No. Let's give it to the left, or something like 5. Duplicate. Do a duplicate. And do another duplicate. How many are they? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this row can be adjusted to fit them all in like that. So we have this. So you can change the icons. I don't know. You can just adjust icons, but now this would be like images. You want to go ahead work around with your images. Right, now the next one is this, and we're going to do today's plan. So let's go down here and let's have something similar to what we have here. So I can take this row, do a duplicate of the row, and I'm going to take it and bring it down here. Just make sure everything turns blue, and there we go. So we have 2 of them. And so what is it? Today plan. Right, there you go. So let's have another row at the bottom. We are doing too many rows. There we go. Let's give it a 20 also. 20. There we go. So we're going to have an image here, another list here. So this is a column, this is another column inside a row. So let's do it. So we're going to create a row, create a column. Inside that same column is a row, create another column. So we have 2 columns. And then what we can do is on this row we need to make it just like that. No. Let's make it just appear on the front. Now inside our row here, let me just minimize this. Inside our row we need to add an image or a container, basically what you feel like you need, but let's just do an image. And let's make this 100 or 150. Height, let's make it 100 or 20. Yeah, I think that should do it. Then inside the next column we're going to have a row, so let's have a row, and inside this row we have the title, so it's going to be a text. So inside the text, let's first of all give this a padding. Should we not on this? Don't want it to look like that. So it's going to be us giving it a padding, which is going to be a padding of I think 10. Kind of seems like a 20. Yeah, let's work with that. And it's going to be 5-kilometer run. 5-kilometer run. Let's make this bold. Going to make it medium and give it a 19. And make it bold. Not it cannot be label large. Headline. No. Let's give it 20. Yeah, let's use 20, then make it bold, I guess. Right, now the next one is going to be minutes, which is going to be another duplicate. Let's have the minutes here. So you can just click on this. Minutes, right. There you go. Then we need to make the display to be small, body small, and then give it a 16 or 14. There you go. Next one, seems like the padding here is a little bit different, so click on this row, give it a padding top of 10. You can give it 10 everywhere, is it? Yeah, let's give it 10. Then we have the last one. Let's do a duplicate of this duplicate. And I think we can do a range. Is it? I was trying to, what do you call it? Chat. I don't know what they call it. Progress is a progress bar. Then I think you can change it from circular to linear. Right, then I don't know if you can change the color here. Let's make the color look something like that. And I don't know if we can give it a border radius. Yeah, I think I can give it a border radius. What do we use for this? I think 20. Yeah, there we go. So the text is too big. Progress value, width, thickness, and radius, tertiary text headline. To make this very small. For T, the color is going to be green. I don't know, not really good with colors. Let's give it black. Sure. All right. So there goes nothing. But so I don't know if we can increase the length of it. But don't worry, just look at how you can do that if it's possible. But yeah, there we go. So we have this. It doesn't seem to have anything else. So what you can do is we now need to duplicate the row which contains this. So we need a duplicate and another duplicate. There we go. Now the next thing you need to do is this whole thing has to be scrollable. You make sure the row is scrollable at the center here so that you can scroll through everything. Now, one last thing as a bonus, I don't really want to make the video very long, but I think we can do that in the next video. So don't worry about that. So this is how you can build a UI very fast with flutterflow. I don't even know how long that took, but it's not that good like these guys UI, but with some little adjustments, if you take the time, you can make it look very nice. So that's how you do it. So I'll see you in the next video, guys. Go ahead and play around with it and see what you can build.